edition of Bantam Small Talk. Sponsored by Building Timber, more than just good wood. Last night, I was delighted to join Tom and Dom, aka Bantams Banter. First of all, lads, I want to thank you for your time last night, and it was a pleasure once again speaking to you. Just to let viewers know that this video was recorded last night prior to today's official club statement, which is our setting news, but the most important thing is that we discuss prior to this club's announcement today is that the club survive, and it's more important that we show our support and back this club now more than ever, as you will find out during this interview. So thanks guys, stay safe, and thank you to Tom and Dom of Bantams Banter once again. Thank you. So here we are with another edition of Bantams Small Talk, Isolation Special 4, with the amazing Bantams Banter, Tom and Dom. How are you doing, guys?
Hey, Nick. God, I can't believe you're at Valley Parade, mate. You're not supposed to go out.
Picture's looking good, isn't it? Pictures looks amazing.
It does. They've done it up quick, haven't they?
Yeah, and they've painted all the seats.
Tell you what, where do you reckon I sit then? You can see my seat now.
We can see your seat.
Right.
Do you sit on, I'm going to guess that you sit on the T in the lower tier of the cop.
Yeah, funny you should say that, not far behind it, sort of more on the Y in the Bantams car.
I will have a guess, don't worry.
That's unbelievable. You're in the Bantams bar?
I was going to guess the Bantams bar, actually, weirdly enough.
Were you?
Yeah, were you? Oh. But I don't need to guess, don't worry about me, it's fine, guys.
How are you, Nick, anyway? How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fine yourself. So, first of all, what I need to do is thank my sponsors, and as you know, it's Building Timber, and that's more than just good wood, if you get what I mean.
It is more than just good wood. Do you know what? Building Timber dropped me off some MDF the other day, so I can actually vouch for their services.
They were reasonable, wasn't it? You were like £7 or something. Ridiculous. Like, I was imagining money there.
£7 for a massive sheet of MDF. I bought two because I felt guilty, and now I've just got one spare sheet of massive MDF.
I love that. Did that include delivery?
That included delivery.
He's lost money as a lad.
I'll tell you what, if I'd known I were giving him such a big plug, I'd have asked for it for note.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm only joking. I really appreciate that they were delivering. We kept social distance.
Yeah. So, guys, my first question is, what have you been doing to keep yourselves entertained during this lockdown?
Tom, you go first.
Well, I'm kind of still working because I sell PPE stuff, face masks, gloves, sanitizer. I've always sold it, so I'm still going to work every day. I work for myself now, just by myself. So nothing much has really changed other than I have been teaching the kids at home, doing a lot of homeschooling, which is really stressful, Nick. Like, I've got a certain way of teaching maths, and I'm going head to head with his teacher. His teacher wants to teach him one way, and I want to do it another way, and it's just incredibly stressful.
So basically, you want to do it the wrong way, and his teacher wants to do it the right way.
Well, yeah, probably, but Theo's caught in the middle because he didn't want to let his dad down, and he obviously wants to do the lesson correctly. So
I've met Theo. I'm 100% sure he doesn't care about letting his dad down. He'd tell you. I've never met such a straight talker.
He is for an 8-year-old. He's a straight talker. But yeah, other than that, nothing really. Just obviously staying home and being good and social distancing from everybody. Because I know some people are being a bit relaxed about it.
I've been spending an absolute fortune. It's like I get bored and spend money.
Yeah,
and
online.
I've been buying football memorabilia. Look at this. I got a mug, Euro '96 mug.
Beautiful.
What else have I got? Look at all these. The original FIFA for the Sega Mega Drive.
Right.
FIFA 95, which is pretty much exactly the same game, different cover. FIFA 96, again, exactly same game, different cover. And FIFA 97.
Right.
That's slightly different. It's got an indoor mode on it. But, yeah, that's about it for me, mate, to be honest with you. I've been spending... Oh, and I'm working. Yeah, I forgot, boss. I'm working.
Get that one in there.
Yeah, and what would you do about this season with it being, would you restart or would you avoid it? Because myself, I don't want to avoid it, but we've got to do something.
No, I don't want to avoid it, but I think if people's health is at risk, there's a lot more important things going on than sport. And I'm saying that sport is literally my life. I work in sport all I do is talk about sport. I take my son to sport every weekend. My life is sport. But there are things far more important than that. I think with the league, the sensible thing to do would be to cancel it. Now, I don't want that because I'll admit I want Liverpool to win the title. I do want them to get it. I think they deserve it. And I feel like this is just typical of Scouse luck, really, that they're so far ahead in the league. And then the world goes into like a health crisis for the first time in 100 years. So I do want them to win the league. And I think they will. I think ultimately, however it pans out, they will. I think the most sensible thing to do is to judge it on the results after everybody had played each other once. See where everybody was, and that could be the end table. So everyone's played each other once. So I think that would mean Liverpool was still top. West Brom and Leeds, they're top of the Championship. Deserve to go up. The best two teams in the Championship. I've watched them both outstanding. And
what about our league, though, Dom? What about League Two? Like, would you do the same for League Two?
Well, this is where it's different because obviously I've got more of a vested interest in League Two, being a Bradford City fan, obviously. But Nick, it's really distracting. You look like a ghost. All your edges are disappearing. You're
slowly disappearing into the ether.
But are you all right, Nick?
Yeah, fine.
Oh God, you didn't answer us then. Oh my God.
I'm listening to you.
But hey, mate, it's not a free Bantams Banter show, mate. So in League Two is a bit different because Bradford, obviously, we know how bad we've been this season. Tom and I were at that Salford game, the last game that we played, and we were awful. But we sit in ninth and we're in touching distance of the playoffs. But if we didn't make it, I honestly wouldn't have any qualms. I just don't think we've been good enough. Although it'd be typical of Bradford's luck, if this season did finish, we'd end up just sneaking into the playoffs and bloody winning them. Because when it looks like we're going to do well, we normally cock it up.
I just disagree with Dom. I think we should avoid the season. I think we've been terrible, generally. We started all right, but even towards the end, we weren't really great to watch, unfortunately. And I don't know. Although I love McCall being back and stuff, and he's starting to get to grips with the squad. I'd rather avoid it now. Let McCall have loads of time to get some players in come summer, and it won't bother me. But it'd be interesting to what Dom says. What our league position would have been after we played everybody once, and I reckon we'd be in playoffs to that point.
Do you?
I think we are. Yeah.
The thing is, Nick, you might agree with this, Nick.
Yeah, go on.
It might be a blessing in disguise that Stuart McCall gets this long, extended period of no football where he gets to assess his options, see what he's got as far as the squad's concerned. And if it does mean that this season's written off, then at least Stuart McCall's got a bit of time. If I'm thinking of it purely from a Bradford City fan point of view. But this has happened before. So I've been discussing this a bit at work and looking into it. And after the war, it was a bit of a muddled up time. So they just played the FA Cup. They just played a cup competition and then started another season. So the sensible option could be to write next season off, finish this season whenever it's possible to do so, and then play an FA Cup competition leading us up to the Euros. You might even be able to squeeze a Champions League in there, maybe the League Cup to get teams more fixtures. And you could arrange friendlies as and when you wanted to, could be the arrangement. And then after the Euros, start the new football season. That could be another option. But I must say, there's so many legal implications and ins and outs of it that I'm glad I'm not the one having to work it out.
Yeah, I think I've spoken to most people and they said, just concentrate on next season.
Yeah, you see, that's weird, though, and it's an interesting point. I don't disagree with that, but you've got to think about the legal and financial implications of cancelling this season. So take, for instance, Liverpool. Now, I'm just making this up. They might not do it. But Liverpool, if the Premier League say, right, we're just cancelling the season, it's written off. Liverpool could say, well, hang on a minute. We spent 100 million on this season, so we're going to sue you. Because...
But the Premier League's different. The Premier League won't stop. There's no way it can. Like you say, for financial
like
reasons.
Sheffield United, probably the biggest season in their club history. If they finish in Europe, unbelievable. What an achievement for them. But that could be ruined. So they'd want to sue them as well. The thing is...
There's too much money in the Premier League. They can't stop it. They just can't.
The Premier League's not dictated to by the calendar, really. I know that the Premier League or the FA or whatever choose when the Premier League's going to be played. But in theory, it is only a game. It is only sport. They could play it whenever they wanted. They can do whatever they want. It's not like someone saying, like, we're going to change Christmas and we're moving Christmas to January. If they're all right to move the World Cup in Dubai to December, they can. I'm sure they can move the football season to whenever they want. It's going to be a ass, but they can do it.
Yeah. So do you think we will someday return to Valley Parade then?
Yes. Yeah, I think League. Yeah, no, eventually. I think League 1 or 2 will be cancelled, to be honest with you. I think they'll knock that on the head. There'll be no ups and downs, and I think they'll focus on Championship and Premier League. There's no way they can cancel the Premier League. There's too much money. And the problem is the Championship, you've got teams, competing to get into the Premier League, and that payoff. So it's almost as hard to cancel the Championship. They can almost forget about League 1 too.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? Because you could think you've got a solution, and then someone else can say, well, actually, what about Bury? Someone might say, well, if this season's cancelled, let Bury back in.
Let Bury back in, yeah. Oh, it's all so stressful, isn't it?
Anyway, I'm glad it's not me. Nice one. You got me well wound up. What is it, 9:30 or something? I'm bloody wound up now.
Well, to the odd people still not fully isolating to get them to, because obviously today's news, we're still seeing high. We're not over it yet, but apparently the peak's past and it is slightly getting better. So what would you say to help us get through that quicker?
I think I just wouldn't want to mess with it. It's an illness, and people are dying. I don't, I know that there are a lot of people saying, well, it doesn't affect me, or I'm young, and I want to get working, but there are literally elderly people and vulnerable people dying because of it. What's more important than someone? Yeah,
health is, yeah. And I think I heard something today about the amount of testing they would need if they were going to carry on football. If all leagues carry on behind closed doors, they need 66,000 tests. Now, the NHS aren't even getting that many tests. So it'd be even harder to test players for them to even play. But like Dom says, this is all by the by. What it boils down to is people's health and well-being, and keeping professional footballers and their families and coaches and everybody just as safe as possible.
My entire career, my career literally revolves around sport. Without sport, I don't know what will happen with my job. But I'd still rather people not die because I thought it was more important to go and watch football or horse racing or something.
Yeah, and I think everybody would choose that. Whatever the job, whatever, family comes first and your health comes first. They're the two main things.
Yeah, although on that note, Tom, I hope you've got a spare room. I might have to live in camper van. That does happen.
You can do it. More than welcome.
Come on, Nick, cheer us up.
But talking on Twitter and all that, because you obviously, I know that like you're asking for memorabilia on yours, so I'm going to respond to that, but I'll just show you one of them. See if you like that.
Let's see. Oh my God, he's disappeared.
He's gone. He's gone, isn't Nick?
Let's see it, Nick. Come on. Tom, you got involved, didn't you? Crappy little scarf.
In what? Oh, yeah, I did that.
Oh, Nick.
Can't see it. It's disappearing. You need to take your background off. Can't see it.
I'll have to basically, it says the history of Bradford City Football Club from 1903 to 1991, and it's got a cesspod introducing it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What is it? A DVD?
No, unfortunately, it's a video, so I need to get it into DVD.
Nick, calm down, boys. Allow me to cheer you up a little bit. I've uploaded that to YouTube.
Have you?
I have.
Well, you just peed all over Nick's possession, you absolute animal.
Well, no, because it's always better to have the original. Like my Mega Drive don't work, but I've still got these because I love them. They remind me of when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, something you can touch is always better, isn't it?
Yeah, it is always better to have something tangible. Nick, that's pretty good. Hey, mate, what's that Windass shirt in the background? Surely that's up there.
I've got a Windass shirt and everything. Hopefully, I'll see. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got it. Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, Mike Harrison, the City Gent, dropped off with me a huge box full of like videotapes that a City Gent subscriber who's passed away now had taped like every time Bradford City were on TV. Match of the day, calendar, the Everton FA Cup game. There's tons of them in there. It'd take hours to upload them.
And tell him what happened with those videos, Dom.
Well, Mike gave me them about 9 years ago, and they're still in my
Yeah, give them back. Just keep forgetting to give them back. You've given them back now, haven't you?
No, I haven't. But
Mike asks for us. He asks for them all the time from us.
Well, the thing is, I can drive now. So, Mike, if you're watching, I will drop them off. But
they're worth a lot of money as well. It's like history.
well, it just takes so long that there's hundreds of them. I would love to have the time to just put them all on the internet because I love watching old Bradford City clips. I love seeing like before I started supporting them. Like there's a clip of the Bradford City winning the FA Cup. I absolutely love watching stuff like that. But I don't have the time to upload them all.
Nick, can you drive?
I'm not allowed because my eyesight partially sighted.
All right.
So I'm not allowed.
But can you go on a private road? Can you give it a quick whiz around? You know.
Don't think so. No. But, well. The only thing I can drive is scooters at work when I'm there. Can drive them there.
Oh, you can drive them around the supermarket.
Yeah.
Ah, you see now you've got one up on me. I've always wanted to drive one of them.
And talking of things that are collecting, obviously I won't get it on here, but I'm gonna, when it's safe or when I can see you, or if I get you, I'm gonna send you guys something each. Because I used to start selling them to raise some money. So I'll just throw it on the end of Ray. I'll show you what I'm gonna send you.
Yeah, come on, Nick. Let's see them.
Come on, Nick. Get it out.
So
now it better not be rude.
Last year, I had some Bradford City Disability SC badges.
Oh yeah.
My own. So I show them to the camera, but obviously it might be the wrong way around. But I'm going to send you both of them.
Oh, quality.
Oh, they're nice, aren't they?
We'll donate for those. Don't give him away.
Yeah, what were you donating for? Just the disability club?
Yeah, it was last year. So I'm now just going to give them out free because I want you two guys to get one, and then perhaps when we do return to Valley Parade. So I want to give you as a thank you gift something and not doing this to you.
You've got nothing to thank us for, Nick, honestly. What's going on with the disability team? You won't be training at the moment, obviously, but you're still in touch with all the lads and lasses.
And I must admit, last year, because when it was cold, I didn't tend to train much, and because of work, I only got to play in a couple of league games.
Right.
I work on a Sunday, and I've either got to take it as holiday or get cover for it. So it's sometimes hard because I don't want to use all my days holiday, but I don't like letting the team down either. So hopefully, when the time comes next year, I'll be able to sort of play a bit more.
Good lad. Yeah, have you been doing anything to keep yourself fit?
During lockdown? Not every day, but I've been on a few walks, maybe 2 or 3 miles a day, and I'm going to go another one tomorrow. Oh,
good lad. I'll tell you what. There's a footballer. He plays for Doncaster Rovers. He's called James Coppinger. You need to follow him on Twitter. He's doing drills that you can do in your own garden or in your living room.
Yeah.
Really good. Get on that because, honestly, having a break from football just changes the way you play. It's amazing what difference it can make, and that's obviously the reason pro footballers train every day. Do
you think they're getting worried, like some of these footballers, like they're going to lose a lot of fitness? Like, it would be weird if we go back in a month's time to Valley Parade and, like, I don't know, Lee Novak's really fat or something. Like,
it is going to be affecting him. It's
massively.
I mean, it's a massively long pre-season. What are we, 38 days into lockdown?
Cheers.
Yeah, it's crazy. How long's pre-season usually? I think it's only... Well, it's probably not far, is it? It's probably about 40 days.
Shorter and shorter every year. I think players go back earlier and earlier.
It's the fact we're not training, which is the worrying thing, isn't it? But they've got to rely on the players to do their own fitness. And trust me, if I were at home and like not having to go, not play, I'd be drinking and eating all sorts. It's a good opportunity to do it. But
just out of interest, Nick, I know this is your interview and I shouldn't be asking you the questions, but
no, you're fine.
What does it mean to you to be able to play football with the disability squad? Because I know that we've spoken to you in the past and it's difficult for you to go to like a conventional football club. So what does the disability club mean to you?
I'd say it's the next best thing to play for the real team, because if I could turn back the clock, and because I used to hate football as a kid and I found it too rough, but if I could turn back the clock and somehow play for the first team, I would do. So playing for the second team is the next best thing. And although I do play too often, when I play and when I score, it's even better. I go wild.
Good for you. It's such an amazing thing, isn't
it? There's another question I wanted to ask you, Nick, and if I'm prying too much, just say I don't want to answer this. But I see on Twitter, and Tom mentioned this to me the other day as well, we see you get quite a lot of stick sometimes from people. How do you feel when that's happening? Like, because we can never tell really whether it's upsetting you or whether you don't mind.
I just try and ignore it these days, so it happens, so...
It's really weird because there's some right weirdos. Like, these people have set up these Twitter accounts, like, putting, like, memes of you and stuff, and it's like, obviously they think it's absolutely hilarious, but you don't ever see the other side of it, the person who's part of all these videos. How are they getting on with it?
Just wanted to make sure it's not upsetting you, mate, to be honest.
No, I ignore it now because it's on, it's on the computer. But you do what you want in after.
Well, why don't you tell us? What's it like living with a disability? Maybe that'd make a difference to what people think. If you, what's it like? Does it even make a difference to your life? Because I'll be honest with you, it don't seem to bother you.
I said people are a lot worse off than me because I'm just partially sighted and obviously my height. But yeah, it affects me because obviously if I lost my glasses, I won't be able to. I'd struggle to get home and stuff like that. So, and obviously I'm not as tall as some people, so I haven't got the physique that some have got. But so that's why I give it my best. And if I've managed to score a goal, then I'm absolutely delighted. Especially for
Nick, we've seen those videos of you scoring goals, mate, and height don't make a difference. Look at Zola.
I think that was when I did play last year. Obviously, we're playing smaller pitches, and the goal is a lot lower, so it's harder to score in those nets than normal nets, I think. Anyway, I've got the ball sort of on the halfway line of a five-side pitch game. Looked up, so I'm going to go for goal. Hit it, and it went straight in.
Go on, Nick.
It's a good feeling scoring a goal, isn't it?
So I might not have played much, but I'm going to definitely claim goal of the season.
Can't we have a bloody word with Asda? Sunday's off.
I know. But you're a key worker, aren't you, Nick? Obviously, being at Asda. So how's it been at work? Has it been quite stressful recently? Or
I'm due back in June, so I'm missing it, really.
Why are you off?
Because of the lockdown, we've got to stay in.
If you work for Asda, aren't you a key worker, though? You can go to work, can't you?
No, because it's because I live at home with my family and they're sort of all high.
Right.
So I've got to stay.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we'll do your shift for you if you want. I'll tell you what, mate. I'm actually a registered member of staff at Asda. I did do some shelf stacking a while back.
Oh my God, wasn't that a terrible Dom? Remember when you went there to Asda?
Why?
Because you had like this media career and you were radio leads and like this career path, and then it was like a sideways turn.
Listen, mate, I had mouths to feed. Do you know how many? There's loads of people in that situation. I'm not ashamed of it.
No, but what I'm saying is in your
although it was a bit weird when a Bradford City fan came up to me. Aren't you that lad from Bantams Banter? What are you doing? but honestly, I actually quite enjoyed it. Although
at the moment they're on the front line, aren't they? The people who are going to get infected are people working in supermarkets. It's crazy.
You're absolutely right. I think that's one thing that I hope is a massive benefit to us as like a human race when we come out of lockdown is that we'll appreciate people that the NHS and care workers and people that work in supermarkets a lot more. Because genuinely, when I go to the supermarket, I look at the people on the till and think, actually, it is risky, isn't it?
Oh, massively. Cash as well. Handling cash and like people like going in they ain't got symptoms, but they've probably got it or they're going to have it. It's just weird.
It is risky, and I hope that people like that know how much us mere mortals appreciate what they're doing, because it is like I wouldn't want to. I mean, I know that if you're a bit younger and stuff, but it just don't feel right to me that, when I go to the supermarket, I feel guilty. Anyway.
Yeah. So if and when we do get out of quarantine, what are you looking forward to? Are you going to be doing anything new at Valley Parade? Like, you should comment on games. Are you looking at doing that again?
We might do. You never know.
Club don't like us anymore, Nick.
Yeah, it's a funny one, really. Well, Dom says that, but Dom's very dramatic. I think
Hang on a minute. Tom says that, but someone that we know very well told us explicitly that the club had said they didn't like us anymore.
Well, no, not the club. One person specifically.
Well, we won't go over it, but they liked us when they were ringing us begging for help when Eddie cocked it all up, didn't they? Anyway.
But the thing is, when we first started doing it, we were very honest and open, and if someone were crap, we'd say they were crap. The right back's rubbish, get him off.
But the club embraced it.
They've embraced that, and the club wanted us to be like that because we got to sit on the fence and be, not sit on the fence, and we've got to say how we feel. But as the time went on, they tried to prod and poke a bit more and say, can you be a bit more positive? Can you do this? Can you do that with the podcast? And me and Dom didn't like that. And I'm not saying that one of the reasons we stopped it, but it definitely didn't help us want to carry it on. So when we come back, we did the Liverpool game, which we really loved and enjoyed, by the way. And we'd probably do more, but we want to feel as though
it's probably not quite. I don't think the club are that bothered, really. And if anything, we've been getting on loads better since we stopped doing it. We've been to loads of games with the kids, home and away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been nice to do that. And
priorities have shifted, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. Because we remember when we were kids, our dads or our uncles or whatever taking us to the footy, and they're amazing memories for us as kids. So we wanted to make sure that we were giving that to our kids as well. So that's why we stopped. I'm pretty fortunate that I still get to do sport and I still get to do the career that we started Bantams Banter to both try and get into. But Tom's got a really successful business now, and that keeps him busy as well. And we try and do little bits here and there. Like, it's really good to talk to you. It's really good to still be in touch with Bradford City fans. But I don't miss it that much because I still get to go and watch City with my best mate and my kids.
Exactly.
Am I your best mate? Oh.
I don't even know that. And it's, it could be worse, couldn't it? Like, we got lucky. We got to do podcasts when Bradford City were at a historic point in their timeline, and it's never going to get any better than that. So we were lucky to cover that, and I genuinely would be quite happy if that archive of podcasts is all we ever do, because I loved that, and I love doing it with Tom, and I've got a record of myself and Tom screaming about stuff at football matches and loving these moments, and like. I did Talk Sport last night, and they were playing highlights of the podcast out and stuff. So people still love it. So I'll be quite happy with that. We made loads of good friends out of it. We were able to donate to the disability team. Any profit we made, we literally just gave it to the club or to the disability squad. That feels pretty good. So, yeah, I don't miss it that much because I still get to go and watch City, but I do miss Bradford City being as good as they were.
Yeah, it's the same. But going back to your question about fitness and challenges, I don't know whether you've seen that my disability team been doing a challenge where you've got to put a ball in your back garden or somewhere.
Yeah.
Sort of bend down, spin around sort of 10 times, and then try and kick the ball in the bucket or something without falling over. So I keep meaning to have a go at that. And I'm wondering if you two are going to have a go at it.
Tell you what, Nick, you do the first challenge. Yeah. Challenge us to do it, and we'll respond and do it. No doubt. Not else to do.
I know.
We'll have a few more questions before we call it a night, and obviously thank you for your time. Do you ever watch Soccer AM, you Tim?
Not anymore. I used to.
Yeah. Our mate Lloyd used to present it last year.
Yeah. Well, basically, I'm going to do sort of a quick either or question, or it's called first or either or. So, what if you can remember? What were your ever first pair of trainers?
Oh, first pair of trainers.
Reebok Classics, me. That's what I had.
I can remember there were a pair of black. They were mostly black, but they had purple and luminous green accents on them. They were like Puma Velcro trainers.
Oh yeah, nice.
Loved them.
Nice. High tech. I used to have a pair of high techs.
Yeah, high tech. Sometimes my mum and dad would take me to cheapo shoe shop in Shipley, called Oliver's or something, and get me a pair of like Patrick trainers or something like that.
Yeah,
I used to like them. Or Arrow. Do you remember the brand Arrow?
The most bizarre haircut you've ever had.
I had a Freddie Lumberg red Mohican, and after it were red. And then after a day, it turned peach. And then after another day, it turned pink. Well, weird, went really weird. And then it went ginger. So I essentially had a ginger Mohican for about a month.
Beckham, he had it blonde right in the middle.
Yeah, it was
like that, but much shitter.
I got that done.
I had a mullet. I had a proper I had a proper Chris Waddle mullet.
Well, it's in, weren't they? Like in early noughties, I think.
Yeah, I thought I was like a member of Blue or something. I also had I saw this picture of David Beckham where he had a shaved head, but some of it was shaved shorter than the others.
Yeah.
I went to the barbers with a picture and said, "Do that for me," and he did it. And I went into school and I had to leave.
Unfortunately now I can't have a choice about haircuts, Nick, because I'm going bald, so I can only have one really style of hair.
Yeah, I mean the haircut that I've got going on now is pretty bad. Look at that! Look at all that.
Look at that solid hairline, Nick. In fact, Nick, you've got a solid hairline as well. You pair of bloody buggers.
I used to be blonde as a kid, but it's got all come down now.
I'd say you're still blonde, mate.
Continuing on, you've got to choose one or the other. Curry or Chinese?
What a daft question.
Curry
All day long, mate. Bloody hell, bloody bathing the stuff I would.
And Pepsi or Coke?
Coke Zero.
No, mate. Actually, at the minute, I'm delving in. I love Pepsi, Diet Pepsi at the minute.
Oh, Diet Pepsi's terrible.
No.
Coke Zero, plastic glass, room temperature, 6 ice cubes.
Glass?
Plastic Coke.
Coke tastes terrible out of plastic.
No, it don't. Plastic. Yeah, well done, Nick. Correct choice. Room temperature, 6 ice cubes, plastic cup.
Room temperature? Are you broken? Who likes room temperature Coke?
But it's got ice in it. You pour it over ice. Trust me. Trust me.
I don't.
And obviously you two top these two, but Ant or Deck? Right.
I'll have to go Ant because I've got his forehead.
I'll be there because I'm tiny.
He's got a tiny willy.
No, you can't say that. I'm on the map. I don't want that going out.
What are you drinking tonight, guys? Anyway, and do you prefer beer or lager?
I prefer beer.
I prefer beer, but when it's warm, lager. So it was really hot last week, so I bought a load of Heinekens to stick in fridge, and now it's freezing, and I wish I had a Tim Taylor's. Yeah,
but I only like beer cask. It's got to be like a lovely landlord, Nick. Oh my.
Yeah, I agree, but landlord's pretty good out of the bottle as well. It's like it's an adequate substitute.
Yeah, it's adequate.
I've had it in the pump. I haven't had it in the bottle yet.
Oh mate, get some Timothy Taylor's down your lad. It'll put hairs on your chest. It's from Keighley, the home of Captain Tom Moore.
It is. That's true.
And the home of me.
Moore,
I'm from Keighley too.
You're not from Keighley, Dom.
Well, Haworth, but it's near enough.
Where were you born?
Haworth. I was born at Airedale Hospital, actually, which is in Keighley.
Oh, actually, yeah. So you're from Keighley, you're right. Yeah. I thought you were born in Bradford. I thought you were born in Bradford.
Yep, and we'll go with a couple of more questions. One is about the lockdown again. When do you think we'll begin to start easing lockdown? Think it'll be June before they start relaxing it slightly?
I think we can only hope, Nick. I honestly wouldn't like to guess.
My prediction was bank holiday at the end of May. So there's a bank holiday at the end of May, and I reckon it'll ease the lockdown after that. So I think it's the first bank holiday Monday. So it's 2nd of June, basically.
So many people just guessing. Just wait and see.
Have you any special messages for perhaps any City fans watching?
Stay home, stay safe, save lives. I got that off at Telly.
Obviously, yeah. Just I think we've got to stick together because, and it's going to get quite deep now. Financially, for the club, it could be massive. It could really, really cost us dearly. And if people are thinking about getting refunds on season tickets if the season's cancelled or not buying for next year, don't. We need now's the time. We need to support the club more than ever. Watch the videos, watch the content. If they put something out we need to pay for, or buy the stuff in the shop. I don't know. Support the club now, and if get your season ticket for next year. Because even if we don't play next year, they'll have some way of putting it on for another year.
But only
so there is ways we can still support the club without actually going to watch them on match day. We can support them still at home, can't we?
You should only do it if you can afford it, though. I mean, this is difficult.
Yeah,
this is difficult.
Yeah, obviously. I obviously mean that.
But look after yourself and your family first, and then once you've got food on table, buy your season ticket. That reminds me, Tom, we need to buy our season tickets.
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yeah, I do.
I forgot, and I wanted that free Premier League book.
That's me going on about buying season tickets. I haven't got mine yet.
Right, we are going to have to go, Nick, because there's less than a minute left.
Great time, guys.
No, Nick, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. I cannot thank you enough for having us on.
Thank you, buddy.
Nice to talk to you.
Yep, and I'll try and do that football challenge tomorrow, and you've got to beat it.
Good lad. You send that to us.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
See you later.
mate. Bye, mate.
Cheers.